G'day folks, welcome to Tom Wentz Tin Shed again. Today I'm going to show you unboxing these two. We've got the English wheel setup and we've got the Shrinker Stretcher combo. We're going to be needing these over the next couple of weeks straight up, plus throughout the year we'll be using this thing to prep up our Percolilli car. In the meantime though, I thought I'd show you the unboxing, show you what you get in the package, show you what you get for money and how it all comes together. And later in the next couple of episodes we'll be working on a Dodge Duster. We'll be using both of these to get the metal work done on that, so I can show you exactly firsthand how we get it done. But in the meantime, stick around, have a watch, you might learn something. Alright, there we go folks, box number one. This is the Metal Masters Shrinker Stretcher combo from Hare & Forbes. Now I just realised that unboxing it like this to camera is going to be problematic, you know, it's going to be a bit difficult to do. And it's really about what's in the box, not about my good looks and charm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Bit of weight there. And I'm going to change the camera angle to an overhead look. And then you'll be able to see exactly what I'm doing and you'll see a bit more clearly what's happening. So let's do that. 2 seconds, bear with me and I'll get the camera reset and we'll go again. Alright, what we have here is the Metal Master Shrinker Stretcher combo. It's a little kit that you get. We've also got the stand to go with it. We're just going to unbox this to see what you get in the package. And we've got a few projects coming up that we need it for, so we thought we'd show you this. I've got the stand down on the floor, and then we'll open that one up as well and we'll put it together and you can see how the whole package comes together. This has been one of those all amazing unboxings, so let's dig in, shall we? So we'll get this. Remember, be careful you blades, people, always away from yourself. Down there, we'll clean that later. Slice it over. First and foremost, we have the instructions. Guys don't normally read them, but I like to these days. We have our 2 crank handles. Those. Second crank handle. They're famous universal Allen keys, but it's handy if you don't have an Allen key set. Sometimes they're a bit weird, they're in these in-between sizes. And of course we've got the Shrinker Stretchers in here. So let's get these ones out. If I can. There's a bit of weight to them. Let's just grab these out. We'll get rid of the box. So it's a Shrinker, sorry. The Shrinker and the Stretcher. Obviously when you need to make metal move a little bit, these come into their own, especially you've got a job coming up at the moment. It's a 1970 Dodge Duster that needs some windscreen repairs. So I need to press up and fabricate some angle iron and use the Shrinker Stretcher to get the radial shape of windscreen formed. And it's very difficult to do that by hand because the price of these, they're very reasonable priced. So just pull these out. Again, get rid of the box. And they're like a complete unit, folks. They're all buckled up, beautifully made. And they're colour coded so that at a glance You can get your head around which one is what. So they're an amazing bit of hardware, and they're doing an amazing bit of work. Obviously the handles go on the back of these, and then the shrinker stretcher stand that we've got utilises the handles and then a foot attachment. So there's your Metal Master Hare and Forbes shrinker stretcher combo. Instructions: shrinker stretcher combos themselves, crank handles, and they come with your little Allen key devices to get things out of plastic. And once again, get rid of that. Clean that up later. Okay, so this is the stand that goes with a shrinker stretcher set from Hare and Forbes. I'm just going to pop it up. Remember, always cut away from yourself. Let me clean this mess up, and we'll have all the components laid out on the floor, show you where it all goes. So this is all the gear you get with the shrinker stretcher combo. So over here we've got the actual shrinker stretchers. You've seen me unbox those. That's the actual heavy lifting part of the gig with their set handles. We have the combination stand which goes together with the back of the hardware, and then foot levers and action rods or radius rods, lever rods, whatever you want to call them. They combine to make a foot operated shrinker stretcher, so you can be using two hands to do your format, and you can do the shrinking with your foot, and of course get a little bit more leverage using the foot as opposed to cranking on the hand, so it's a little bit more efficient when you're doing the thing. Now I'm not going to record assembling this up. There's probably videos all over the place with all that done. I just thought I'd show you what you get for your dollar, and it's really good quality gear. That's the bit I like. So if you look after it, keep it tucked away, throw a cover on it when you're not using it, you're going to get the life out of this product. The amount of metal work you do with these things means that this should last you years, and that's not a bad thing. And it's a good investment if you're doing any sort of car restoration or customisation of your vehicles or anything like that. These are quite paramount. So I'll show you how that works then. But in the meantime, that's what you get. This is a shrinker stretcher. Big shout out Hare and Forbes. Now they aren't my sponsor. I had to pay for this out of my own back pocket, but I'm happy to go there because the quality is always great. So I'll leave it right there, and I'll get on it. So this is box number 2. Pretty excited about this one. This is the English wheel. This is a freestanding entry-level English wheel. They retail around about the sort of $700 from Hare and Forbes. If you're going to be doing any sort of serious restoration work or any customising, you kind of need one of these. It's not for everybody, but those who are sort of in the game of tin, playing with a bit of metal, doing sheet work, this is kind of what you need. So let's open it up first, and then like we did with this one, we'll set it all out so you can see what you get in the box, and then we'll go from there. So let's remember, guys, safety when you're using a sharp blade. Make sure you're not going to cut yourself. But more importantly, try not to cut through the product. You might, just easy as you go through. You might have some nice stuff in there. You can run the blade through, you put a big gash over it. So let's just open this up. So in true Metal Masters Hare and Forbes type firm, everything is boxed in nice and neatly, and there's a lot of heavy stuff in here. So first and foremost, you've got your instructions. Now guys, I know you don't use instructions, you're too cool for school, I don't know what with yours, but I always like to have a check, have a read. Sometimes there's stuff in there that you should be knowing that you don't know, or just to know what bolts go where we can put it together. get it right the first time, is what I say. So I'm just going to put that down. But look, there's a lot to take out of this box. I'm not going to individually sit there and tell you what each piece is, because at this stage I really don't know. It's just a whole lot of stuff in there. So I'm going to go to time lapse, and we'll get this all out. And when I've got it all laid out, we'll go back and have a conversation about it. So sit tight. Let's go time lapse. Folks, not quite at the moment, we've got to put it together, but you can see these is all the components that are supplied to create that amazing bit of gear. So I'm not going to waste too much time doing this and explaining piece by piece. I'm just going to go into time lapse and I'm going to assemble this up, and at the end of it we'll have a conversation about why I got it, why it's in the shop, why it's so important to have one. But in the meantime, sit tight, we're going to go bang this all together, and at the end of it, we'll have a quick catch up. But don't forget, if you like what you're seeing and you're having fun with this stuff, hit the like, subscribe buttons, and don't forget the notifications, because they will bring you up to speed with all the latest bits that are going to be thrown out. And we've got a few coming in very soon, so got a great project starting up pretty much today. But we'll get back to that later. Let's get this English wheel put together. Now, when you have a machine shaft that's machine matched to something like this, if you don't put any coating on it, just leave it as bare metal, what happens is condensation builds up and eventually it starts rusting and gets a bit jammed up. So I'd suggest you don't need much, just rock a little bit of old-fashioned bearing grease on there, nothing crazy, just enough to keep that shaft wet as we use it in the term of mining, keep the pin wet, which is to say a little bit of grease on it stops from condensation or any of the water getting in it or anything to that effect. Problem with sitting in a shed, eventually you get a little bit of that going on. So my suggestion is before you place your old spindle shaft in, just give it a little coat of grease. Make sure you can sort of feel a bit of that. We're good to go. This is the rack for all your rollers, roller heads. We go down there. You've got an option of doing it on either side, depending on where you are. I'm right-handed. My natural tendency would be to come to this side here, but you can put it wherever you want, left or right. But this is where I put my rollers. So here we are, all finished. Bolted together, full rack of rollers, usual sort of adjustment stuff that you're going to learn about. We'll teach you about that later. Most importantly, it's together, and it's going to be pretty handy in the next couple of weeks. I've got a Dodge Duster project that I need to do a little bit of rolling and wheeling on. The crown of a corner of a windscreen, can't really do it with flat sheet, you're going to have to put some real crown in it. So this is going to get used pretty much off the cuff. In the shrinker stretchers I've got to do a little bit of windscreen repair work. I need to get a bit of angle section, and I need to get some radius and bends and negatives and positives in that too, so I'm going to show you how that works too. But for now, here we have it, finished. Okay, so they're all assembled up. Everything's together. So the unboxing is officially over. But what we ended up with is a shrink to stretcher combo, which are going to be invaluable for a couple of jobs I've got coming up in the very near future. And the English wheel, if you need to do any sort of shaping on any curvatures, then this is the beast. Been looking forward to getting one of these. We've been wanting one for a while. I'm finally committed to it, and I think it's going to be a great piece of gear for the workshop. You can't see, but over there I've got to set up a nice little corner for it, put it in the ground so it doesn't move, and generally get it in a good location so we can work on bits and pieces. We've got the Percolelli car's going to need some sheet work. We've got Woody from Cool Junk, his Claude McKinley tribute car. We've got to do a bit of tin work on that as well, which will be an episode on his channel. We'll go over to his workshop and we'll take the English wheel over there and we'll do a bit of work over there. But that's going to happen later in the year, but stay tuned for that one. That should be a good one as well. A bit of collaboration between two channels, so to speak. So they're all built, they're all assembled. Pretty straightforward. You only need a couple of hand tools to do it. Nothing too crazy, and the instructions are pretty basic, but it gets you where you need to go. If you've got half an idea on mechanics, you'll work it out pretty quickly. I'm actually pretty impressed with the quality. Now, just to be clear, I'm not sponsored by Heron Forbes or Metal Masters. I purchased these myself. These come out of my own back pocket, but the reason I go to Heron Forbes has always been that the quality gear. It's always good stuff. It's never let me down so far, so pretty happy with the gear. And it's a bit of an investment, but at the same time, sometimes you need to invest in the right equipment to do the right work, and then you're not struggling later. So I need to get on with the chassis. I've got to do a jig today, which will be the starting point for my Percolelli. So I'll see you next time on the channel, and don't forget, if you like what you're seeing, hit the like and subscribe button and the notifications, because when you hit the notifications you'll get the latest videos put on. We've got a couple of shorts coming up showing you how to do aftermarket fuel line fittings and a few other bits and pieces, and yeah, we've got some stuff coming up for you. In the meantime, I'll shut up, I'll get on with it, and we'll see you later.